Hello, welcome here. As my colleague said, we'll be discussing AI and security, and we'll be trying to figure out whether they can be friends or enemies in data storage. My name is Diana Prusova, and I work at Pure Storage as a security governance program manager. I used to work at Accenture as lead security solution architect in the past. I would like to start our talk by a vote, by a simple vote. I would like to know whether you think that AI and security in data storage are friends or enemies. So please raise your hand if you think that they are friends. Okay, 4 people, and the rest think that they are enemies? Okay, great. So let's see what opinion you will have at the end of my speech. Let's see whether your opinion changes or not. Also, I would like to ask you whether you feel okay with the fact that your phone is in your pocket, but the data that you're storing in your phone lives 1,000 miles away in a data center where you don't know the location, you don't know the level of security at the data center. Do you feel safe about that? Are you okay with it? Who is okay with it? Please raise your hand. Okay, so that would be about half of our audience. Thank you. Let's see whether you change your opinion again. And a simple test question for the beginning. What do you think you can do as a private individual to check on security of the data stored in your phone? What do you think that you can do? Please say it out loud if you... Encrypt data. But that doesn't help you figure out the level of security of the data stored. All right, that's a nice opinion as well. So I can guarantee you that you can do an absolute nothing about this, and I will explain why later on. Now, the other question is, what if AI steps in and whether you're feeling even safer? No? I see that the answer would be no in general. And I have included the joker. You will see why. So, as is my tradition, when I need to figure out something, I go to the dark web, because that's where the underworld is, and that's where the evil is that is maybe impacting our data and everything else. So let's see what the current technology allows Joker to do, actually. And let's stick to the facts. So I went to the dark web, to my favorite onion site, which is called Gotham City, as you all know it from the movie. And I found a nice ransomware piece. You can see the print screen of that one. It's a very nice piece. I did some reverse engineering on that. I used Jidra, the tool developed by NSA. It's my favorite tool. And I found out that there is indeed a small LLM plugin in there. However, I found out that this plugin does not serve to access the data, to provide the backdoor to the data that they want to steal. It only provides a more effective way to analyze data when the hackers are going around the infrastructure of a victim company or an organization and they try to analyze the data. So they basically use the LLM plugin and the artificial intelligence to better analyze what they can see in that environment. But the AI itself does not provide the backdoor. I can't fully evaluate whether this is the only representative or the valid representative of how hackers use the LLM. However, I didn't find any other evidence in other ransomware or malware pieces that would speak otherwise. So this was an interesting thing to do, and it confirmed what I had thought and what I will share with you. So, as I said, hackers can use the LLM for analytics to make their hacking more efficient. But that's exactly what businesses do as well. For example, of course not for hacking, businesses do it for the right purposes. However, they use LLM in the same way to be more efficient. For example, Pure Storage uses LLM to develop internal tools for analytics that help HR, financials, threat modeling, security monitoring, sales, product subscription management be more efficient. So that's the internal use only. There's no connection to the data stored, to the customer's data. Absolutely no connection to that. The goal, the ultimate goal is to get rid of numerous dashboards, have a better overview of performance, and make business processes more effective. Then there is an external way that Pure Storage uses LLM, and that is a customer-facing analytics tool, which is called currently Pure One Copilot. And it's basically an interactive chatbot to provide smart analytics of the Pure services. And the goal, of course, is to uncomplicate data forever, because at Pure Storage, we don't like to have complicated things around data. And this is also reflected in the high level of customer satisfaction, because you get only one smart dashboard that shows you everything, and it's real time. So this is how LLM is used. I believe not only by Pure Storage, but businesses are using it currently to develop similar tools for better performance. So the conclusion about this point is that there's no way for the hackers or the joker to access customer data through LLM. Currently, it's not used that way. For example, Pure doesn't even have access to data, to customer data at all, and there's no way they could get it. So we have only metadata that is used to get business performance effective, and hackers do the same, to simply develop their ransomware as a service to the extent that they can be faster, they can analyze a victim's environment better and more effectively, quicker. So there's no access to data using the LLM. That was one point. The second one that we need to discuss is a bit more serious one from victims' perspective, and that is that LLM can be used to manipulate the data you're analyzing. The LLM can be used to be manipulated to make false conclusions. So this is why businesses, including Pure, still use human verification to verify everything that the LLM actually constructs. And I believe that it will stay this way for a very long time, maybe even forever, depending on the development that we will see in that area. My fellow speaker, Dr. Branislav Majerník, he developed a tool a game, actually, that you can try out yourself to manipulate LLM to provide false conclusions. And it's available at the link that you can see on the slide. I can send it to you afterwards if you're interested. So let's see whether you consider it as a very serious thing. I don't really. It does present a burden to companies because they have to still have that human verification of everything coming out of the LLM. However, it's still cost effective to use it. So that's the current state of things in business. There are 2 points that I would like to mention about this. So as we all know, quantum computing is developing very fast. Certain countries are working on heavy development in that area. And of course, they're not sharing information about that. They're keeping it secret, so we basically don't know where they are. However, quantum computing can definitely change the game entirely in the future. Because we don't know yet, we can't evaluate in any way how quantum computing will impact the LLM, its interaction with IT infrastructure, etc. We simply don't know it yet. There has not been enough research done. It's just a hidden joker, perhaps. So that's one thing. And the other one is that as a private individual, you can do very little. And this is what I would like to elaborate on a bit. So I asked you in the beginning whether you have the feeling that as an individual, you can verify what level of security you have on the stored data in your phone. And I said, you can verify absolute nothing. And this is very closely tied to security certifications. As a private individual, you can't see them. You can't see the report of the auditor. As a private individual, you can only search the internet and find out, okay, so is my data storage certified in security or not? And perhaps you will find out, okay, they are certified for ISO 27001, or they are certified under SOC 2. However, you will never see the report itself. The report can be seen only under a non-disclosure agreement, which you will not get access to. The auditor's reports that do include those needed details about the level of security imposed on your data is available only to business partners that have this non-disclosure agreement signed. So as a private individual, you can have a minimum information if you search for it. For example, what does it tell you if you find out that that the company where you're storing your data says, we are certified for ISO 27001 or SOC 2? What does it tell you? It only tells you that there is some level of security diligence in that company, but that doesn't give you any details at all, how security is done and whether it's sufficient or not. Basically, you would need to see something called SOC 2 Type 2 Auditor's Report to see where that company's security flaws are and where the auditor said that they must be fixed. As a private individual, you will not get access to that. So I don't know how that changed your feelings about security of your data. However, However, I think that we can make a general conclusion that your data is safe only if you put them into safe hands. And how to determine whether those hands are safe, that's another question that I have just discussed. So you can do some minimum research or even maximum research, but you will still get a minimum amount of information. To get the relevant information, you would need to have a non-disclosure agreement to see the, for example, SOC 2 Type 2 reports of that company. So, based on what we have just said, do you still have the feeling that your data are in safe hands in your phone? Or did you change your opinion? You didn't change it. You have the zero trust principle applied on your personal phone. That's a very smart decision. Yeah. So, thank you. I hope that you have made your conclusions. If you're interested to see where, for example, Meta stores your Facebook data, you can visit our Pure Storage booth that is here at OpenSlava, and you can see the flash array where the data is stored, because Meta is the customer. So you are welcome, and if you have any questions that will not be discussed here, you can take my card here on the desk, and you can ask me even later on. So we can go on to Q&A if we have some questions. Okay, there are no questions. Yeah, we've had an interactive session. So, okay, if there are no questions, then thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.